Canada considers designating neo-Nazis, white supremacists as terrorist groups.
Here's a summary of the article.
This copy is for your personal non-commercial use only. To order presentation-ready copies of Toronto Star content for distribution to colleagues, clients or customers, or inquire about permissions licensing, please go to www. Copyright owned or licensed by Toronto Star Newspapers Limited. To order copies of Toronto Star articles, please go to www.
This post received a score of 21,000, with an upvote ratio of 94%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
I thought that's what we already did in 1942.
Canada declared war on Germany when Britain did in September 1939, FYI. Canadian here, we declared a bit later, after a vote in the House of Commons, the first vote on a war we have ever had, I believe.
Correct. In WW1, Canada was at war the instant that Britain declared war.
Dark times. PM Robert Borden had a handful to deal with, that's for sure. Anti-conscription Québécois did not take well to this Anglo-War, which caused the conscription crisis of 1917. An election partially settled the issue when Borden won, leading to French-Canadian resentment, which then culminated in a fatal riot in Quebec. After that, Quebec nationalism only grew and would eventually lead to the referenda on leaving Canada. Funny how all of this came about because the British Empire decided for Canada what its destiny was.
It is also ironic in that many in Quebec are very protectionist of their French heritage but had little desire to help the French.
I mean, from their point of view, why would they go and help France, which pretty much gave up on them in the beginning of the 7 Years' War? And do so under the order of what they saw as oppressors?
Yeah, the Québécois do not like the French. They like their Québécois heritage, and would have as little to do with the French as possible.
As a Franco-Ontarian, I always feel the need to chime in and say that French-Canadian culture is bigger than just Quebec. I always get a little annoyed when they refer to anything French-Canadian as Québécois. It's obvious that Quebec is the Frenchest part of the country, but a lot of them basically don't believe that there are other French Canadians. P.S. I'm not blaming you or anything, just sharing my thoughts.
I'm unclear as to why this would even take more than 5 seconds of consideration.
There's other comments that have a lot more detail than what I'll provide. But one of the issues is that the House voted to call for this. Which seems fine until you realize that the civil servants handle this specifically so that politicians don't label their opponents as terrorists, and that listening to the House on this would set a precedent undermining that principle. It begs the question why the civil servants waited so long to name them terrorists in the first place, but hopefully you get the general idea.
Whoa, the people yelling "Gas the KKS" and "Race war now" aren't peaceful protesters? Color me surprised.
Is it because they're terrorist groups?
Does a duck with a boner drag weeds?
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.